For me, it's always an honor to interview guys who get to this level because you're 1/10 of 1% of the greatest athletes in the world to get the honor of playing this game. And then you're doing it now for this franchise, charter franchise of the National Football League, just dripping with history. How's that settle for you?
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, like, you talk about a team or a franchise that's one of the original teams of football, probably popularized football for all of America, really. So it's crazy that I'm here, and they thought I could blend in and do something good for this program as much as I think that I can. So I'm happy to be here.
What is it that you think you can?
I've only scratched the surface of what I could become, really. And I'm just happy to take that next step and see what that next level is,
Yeah, well, now you don't have to study classes anymore. You don't have to be a college student. Now you're a businessman, right? Ready to play a sport that you grew up loving. That's also a big hurdle for some folks, to getting over to that. Are you excited now just to be football focused?
Oh, yeah.
More, you're not training for track anymore,
No,
right?
no. Yeah, I'm not running around in spandex, Yeah, I don't think it'll be a big hurdle for me. There's that foundation you got to build, like anything. But I'm happy to just focus straight ball. I mean, it's something that I've loved to do since I don't know how long. But just to do it as a job, I mean, I feel like I'm pulling the biggest trick ever. I'm out here making money just to do something I love to do. So.
Well, it'll get serious, man. It's going to get serious and a lot of fun. I heard one of the best quotes I read about you was one of the scouts that I follow said, he's a grizzly bear, plays the game like a grizzly bear that's just coming out of hibernation. You ever hear that one?
I never heard that exact quote, but I mean.
Is that how you play?
I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
I think you play with an edge, my friend, and a little hungry, like that bear. Now, you've gone from grizzly bear to Chicago bear, so that's how they used to play on this team franchise. The history is all about that kind of nastiness, and you can see it in your snaps for sure. Is this something that you were born to do?
It's definitely in me. So, I just got to make sure I don't flip that switch too much. Flip it game day, so.
Yeah. I've heard you say that more than once. So, do you need to flip a switch to get into that mode on game day, or are you always on the edge a little bit?
You might hear the saying, people might say, there's nobody that can just flip the switch. I don't think that's real. If I was sitting here staring at you in the face, you'd think this guy has probably something wrong with him, you know what I mean? But when it's time to go, like you feel that I don't know what to talk about it for real. I might flip the switch right now. But no.
I'd love to see it. What do you love about this game? And do you love this game at a level that is beyond passion for the sport?
Yeah, I don't have a plan. There's no plan B, you know what I mean? It's not like I'm like, oh yeah, if I do make it, I'll do this. I mean, that's all I got. So this is what you see here is what I got to give. So
when did it crystallize for you that you were going to be NFL possible?
It doesn't necessarily just crystallize at once. I guess if you say it would have, when it did crystallize, would be like somewhere around my junior year in college. But you go through those times where you think maybe I'm not good enough, but then you get better and then you think, oh, I can really do this. So it changes, but we're here now. So
yeah, I think the SEC can make a lot of players think they're not good enough because it's essentially an extension of what we have right now in the NFL, right? You faced everybody. I mean, you can go all the way back to your freshman year. Did that harden your edge to get here to play the same? I mean, it's not going to be too big for you.
Yeah, and definitely it's not going to be too big, and I've obviously NFL, you're not going to get the competition that you're going to get, you're not facing NFL players every single player in the SEC, but it's the closest, like you said, it's the closest you can get to it, and it definitely helped me a lot.
You've mentioned many times just that you're a bit of a state of shock, but you knew you were going to be a high draft pick. What's the shock part of it to you, I guess?
Well, the shock part of it is just like you don't really realize it's going to happen. Like even sitting at home before I even got to the draft, I'm like, well, I'm throwing this big party. What if I don't even get drafted? Like, what if everybody just came out for no reason? You start having these what ifs in your mind, and then like feels like this moment's been coming. Like before, leading up to the draft, I remember I'm trying to go to sleep just so I can wake up the next day and be closer to the draft, But it was just, you don't really ever really feel it until like, oh, he's on the phone right now.